Welcome back, guys, to another week of our live stream here. We've renamed it the Edge Report. So it's your weekly briefing just to talk about automated strategies, the performance of them, prop firm news, prop firm management, and the Clear Edge marketplace. So I'm glad you're here with us tonight. And it was really a big week. Lots of stuff going on, lots of volatility, lots of news, not just in the geopolitical realm. Hang on a second. I got Sorry, I have something that just started playing in my ear. All right. Sorry, I had to turn that off. I had the YouTube channel open for the live stream, so it was lagged on me, so I was hearing myself like delayed.
Oh
But yeah, Kevin, how was your week? What do you think of all that's going on right now?
man, it was a crazy week. Some good, some bad, but overall pretty good. Finished out green, so that's always a good week. But yeah, just yeah, I guess crazy overall week. We had that big short squeeze Wednesday. What do we do? Like a 4% candle roughly on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is in at least in the S&P and the Nasdaq. So yeah, just a little crazy, but yeah, overall pretty good week. How was your week?
It was pretty good. I had some pretty good performing things, and then had some flat things. Didn't really have any red. Um, so yeah, it was mostly a good week. Um, I love the movement. At least we're moving and we're doing something. I don't really. It's kind of the double-edged sword that you deal with when you get geopolitical stuff. Is you get the volatility, so you don't sit in a trade for a century, but at the same time,
Hmm.
it can blow past your stop for and get you some lag. I think you had that this week, didn't you, with Market Ninja? Or no, that was last week.
No, yeah, that was last week. Yeah, and then the Ninja calmed down a little bit this week as far as MNQ goes. RTY, we got to take a look at that setup, maybe re-optimize that. I was running that too. I think that was my red one. I've got to double check all my accounts. I just got back in my office after being out today, but yeah, so I got to do my weekly recap here. But I do know that MNQ was green. But yeah, that was last week on that candle or that, yeah, AES and MNQ. So I know that whatever was running that RTY setup, that those accounts will be red this week. But it's okay. What were you running that went well?
VWAP. Yeah, it was
Oh,
doing
you're
really
running your
well.
VWAP strategy. Okay.
Yeah, it just blew everything out of the water. I mean, let's look at this ES. Let's do the weekly. I think it was this one. Yeah, the weekly report. Yeah, like a 4.7 profit factor.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, it had a
Yeah, it
really good week.
was. Yeah, I had a great week. It did really well. So I was really happy with it. And I know this came up in the chat. So, and actually, you know what? We're gonna actually come back to this because we'll first we're gonna put a little more structure to the stream. So we're gonna actually start, and we'll come back to going over this analysis on these strategies. But I would like to just kind of recap some of the news that happened this week, specifically with the market. So we had the Iran ceasefire, and then just how the reactions of the equities, what happened in crude, and then some more of the macro data like the PCE inflation number that we had. So and you were kind of up to date. I know we were talking before the stream about what happened, and I was asking you, how do you hear people pronounce the Strait of Hormuz, Hermas, some
Hermosa.
like that.
I
Yeah. So
think that's how you say it.
for people that don't really know what's going on there, that's like 20% of the oil flow for the world comes through that strait. So it's huge. It's huge for the markets, and it's a big area. So President Trump announced before his self-imposed deadline to resume attacks on Iran that he was going to have a ceasefire. So I think that kicked it out 2 weeks. So I think he kicked the ceasefire for 2 weeks. So really, there's still going to be a lot of pressure in the markets. So we'll kind of see what happens as things develop. So we'll definitely be watching that. And next week, we'll hopefully be able to kind of see how the market is digesting that a little bit more just as the next week comes. And so we saw the equities responded really with a relief rally, a short squeeze. I mean, whatever you really want to call it, the markets went up and buyers were in the house. So we actually broke into, let me go back to my market overview. We broke back into that area of congestion that we've been in forever. The congestion of death. I hate that little spot. It's made me adjust so many things with my strategies to make them better. So it's good in the long run, but man, this consolidation up here was not fun for several weeks. There were some bad times, but yeah, we're broken back into it. So we'll kind of see how that happens. I think we talked about the numbers. The S&P went up. What was it? It went up 4% that one day in like a couple hour period. And then overall, so the NASDAQ pushed to a 4-week high. ES futures were up about 0.58%.
We were up about 5% overall this week, roughly, in the S&P and ES.
Yeah, so lots of opportunity. And for those of you following crude oil, it was kind of a bit of a whipsaw. So we saw the big sell-off that happened on the ceasefire, and then it was 24 hours later, that was when the big rally happened. So I think we actually popped back above 100. I mean, this is future contracts, but let me see what the future contract says.
We closed it, or they closed it right on 95.63 today. It looks like that's where it closed.
Yeah, but we did pop up above. Looks like the futures contracts went all the way back up to 117. So I mean that was a big pop. I think it was 6% or something like that came back up. So yeah.
Are you saying okay?
Because it fell, it fell and then it shot back up. So wait, let me look at it again. I was looking at the wrong time period.
Yeah, because Monday it looks like we opened, and Tuesday it was actually pretty high at 117, but then it looks like it just faded all week, and I'm seeing CL closed at 95.63
for the futures contract. Yeah.
Let's
see. I mean, so that off of that big sell off, it looks like we did. Yeah, it looks like we got about 50% of the way back. Let me see. So, yeah. I mean, this measurement is saying we went up like 14%, and the whole sell-off was 27%, 25% roughly. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm measuring it like right around that high 26s, 27% for from the Tuesday high down to the Wednesday low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, there was a bit of a rally there for a little bit during the week. You had a pretty good day on looks like Thursday. Had a pretty good day. I've been just automating it. So I have one strategy. I use the Vector Platinum for it, and it's been flat for the most part, I think, for the week. And I have not paid very close attention to it. Yeah, it's basically flat for the week.
We also had GDP numbers yesterday, and they came in a little bit low.
Yeah,
I think forecast is around 0.7% growth, and we were down at 0.5. So that just shows a little bit of weakening in the economy, So that'll be interesting to see, like,
what was jobs data for?
What's up?
What are we for jobs data and like manufacturing? Didn't we have some stuff come out on that?
Yeah, so unemployment came in higher too, at 219K versus a 210K estimate.
But what was the expectation? That's kind of what I
200,
care about.
yeah, 210K was expectation. Came in
Okay.
at 219, so just slightly over that.
Okay. So it came in a little bit stronger.
Yeah, well, a little bit like weaker, I guess, worse than because having more unemployment is not good.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So a little bit less a little bit weak GDP and a little bit higher unemployment. So I mean, I don't know. I'm being careful in this in this uptick in this market because um, I can't say I fully trust it, but we'll just kind of see how it all plays out. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I gotta see more.
Yeah.
Let it progress.
And I know a lot of us has kind of forgotten about it now, but like tariff stuff is still like in the background of everything. I mean, they have the Supreme Court like ruled that uh, they overstepped their authority, so they're actually to like impose those broad tariffs. So the 10% blanket tariff, we'll kind of see what happens with that, and really that's going to bring. It's still in the market. It's still causing uh, issues in the market, or what do you call it, indecision, maybe just surrounding that. There's just a lot of stuff that could cause indecision, or just really unsure what's going to happen. So just being careful with the geopolitical environment right now, and we've talked about it, sizing down, making sure you're prepped for it, and just being a good risk manager with your accounts. So,
Yeah.
is there anything that you didn't really expect to happen, or what were you looking? I know you were you thinking that we might go a little bit lower, or what were you kind of your thoughts on where we were
I
at?
mean, after we got that candle, like what was it last week out of um so yeah, I guess if I'll share my screen just to kind of so I can walk through what I was kind of looking for and
Yeah,
looking at here. Let's see here. Here we go. There we go. Um, so yeah, so I had this kind of mapped out here with my volume profile. I don't really pay too much attention to these indicators, but I just kind of glance at them. I really just am more focus on the structure here. But this, if you go to your weekly, we had this large weekly imbalance here. Also at the high volume node down there. Also, you had your weekly. This is a 100 weekly SMA. So I kind of expected us to get here, but I really didn't expect that strong of a reaction based on like where we were 2 weeks ago. I knew we would probably, go up from there, but I was hopefully expecting us because I bought when it was down here, long term stuff, and I
yeah,
was hoping that we would get a little bounce and maybe fill this imbalance here. Well, we just didn't get down there, but you could see why, right? If you start up here, we had this whole,
low
volume
volume
profile
area.
void. So I was kind
Yeah,
of expecting us to go there, and like I said, at least bounce here, but maybe continue and fill this, and then get a relief bounce like we did. Um, but yeah, we ended up just kind of rallying from there. It looks like so. So yeah, a little bit, like I said, kind of
yeah.
expected to where I knew it was probably going. But man, I wish I would have bought more. You always wish you buy more when it goes up like this, but well, maybe get another shot at it. You never know. But yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
kind of looking at anyway.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next segment where this is where we're going to talk about just strategy performance, um, going over just the strategy reports, what we're looking at, what performed well, and we've done a little bit of it so far. So I pulled up some stuff for the stuff I was running. So I was running VWAP, which is not in the store yet, key levels, not in the store yet. And then I was running MA, which is in the store, and then two strategies on MA, and I was running Market Ninja as well. So I had those, and then I had Vector Platinum MCL. So those were the ones that I did more analysis on, and these are the ones that I kind of want to take notes on for myself. I don't know what you're running exactly, just so then Sunday night when I go back to see what I'm going to put on what account and what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to change, I'm going to keep in mind everything that we talked about at the beginning of the stream, such as the climate of the market right now, and then on top of it, what strategies am I running, and how do they work in certain markets. To put it a basic way, you wouldn't want a trending strategy in a consolidating market. You wouldn't want a consolidating strategy in a trending market, or a reversion strategy in a trending market. Well, it could work, but basic, put it out in a basic way. That is basically what I'm talking about. Like, I want to make sure it fits what's going on with the market. Like, I had a short only strategy I was running like just last week and in the week before, and I had to scrap that strategy. I was like, I got to change this thing out. That was a short only ES strategy, and had to swap it out for something else.
And I was running that too along with you, and I actually swapped that out when we got down near this imbalance, because I was like, well, I don't know how much more, I don't know if we're going to get that relief rally or whatever. So I shut it off around here too.
Yeah. I put it back on the one we were running before, and that one had a fantastic week. It was
did it?
Yeah, 72% win rate, 2.7 profit factor, 6K in profit, or well, if you're trading a micro, it'd be 600 in profit and $100 drawdown for the week.
Yeah, if you want to switch screens with me, if you want to throw that up on the big screen.
Yeah. Oops. Let's do this. So yeah, this is back to where we were, what we were trading before that dip. I mean, if we pull it back and look at the 30-day, you can see why Kevin and I stopped running it. It took this. This was correlated with.
Yeah, I started right in that green area.
Yeah, with the Trump stuff, and it just went kaboom straight down, and then now it's pulling back up. So I'm happy with it, and it's just gone up since that kind of initial fall down. It went flat, I think, for a tiny bit of time, but like I'm actually liking this. It's been going steadily up since that downturn, so I'm happy with it. I'm gonna keep it on and see what kind of comes of it. I like ES stuff, so we'll see. It's definitely happy with it. But yeah, let's get to just analyzing what I'm looking at with this stuff. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the stuff that's not in the store. But like, if you were to look at the strategy report, what are you looking at when you're seeing this stuff? And we'll go to the bigger picture after this.
Yeah, I mean, really just recent performance and seeing, how it, I'm looking at how it's so I like the report just to give me like an initial overview, but then I actually go and look at the trades that it's taking and like kind of figure out if it's going to if it's a proper market environment for it. Like for instance, that one that we were running, that was basically a short only strategy. I just kind of looked at the market. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a bounce spot. I don't really want to, even though it has good, like the report at that time looked really good on it. But again, I was seeing how it was trading. And then I said, well, I don't really like that we're coming to a spot in the overall market, and I don't like shorts here. So I'm going to turn it off. But a strategy like this, yeah, just seeing, and that's specific to that one because it's such a short heavy strategy. But yeah, just seeing how it's trading in this market environment, right? Like if I'm noticing like a normal win rate, even if it's down slightly, that's fine. But and then you get your normal loss rate, but then it's winning. And I'm just really looking for normalcy recently, right? Like I just don't like. I'll show you one when we switch screens again, but basically like my ES. Oh, okay, you switch it up. Like this ES strategy, like I don't, and it's ever since we kind of came out with it, like this was its week's performance. I didn't like the way it was trading. I think I started this Sunday or Monday. I'm sorry, Sunday, and then maybe shut it off Monday this week or Tuesday. I just didn't like the way it was trading. So I'm just like, it's just not. So to me, when we get to Sunday and Monday, and I don't see, and I see it like end the day and it's all red, and I don't see like a green kind of pickup. Like, I don't know. I'm adjusting and making changes, but again, that's just me and what I like to do in these market conditions, right? Like, I just see these reversals keep on losing and it keep on getting faked out. So that tells me that like I'm not on the right side of these strategy settings and that I need to adjust for like how it's going to lose, right? So like I'll go into the strategy then this weekend and figure out if I can find settings that will like have it not take losses like it was last week, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and
that's what I personally
that's
do
like a
because like and
definitely.
it's been tougher to do that. Like I feel like I wasn't doing that when we weren't in this high VIX, high wartime environment like as often for sure. Like even a couple months ago before all this, like I definitely was not doing that, but I find myself doing it more now just because like I don't know, it's like it's just been so much different. So I don't know. And I don't even know if that's like I guess everyone's got their own style and they do what they do, but like that's how I've been kind of adjusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
about
just
you?
purely on an analysis basis, like looking at this P&L and looking at the curve of this, like I noticed right off the bat is this can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row, and look how far it went down. Like this is nuts. So it's taking very small losses, and you can see that in the win rate. You see a 36% win rate, and then you can see how quickly one trade overtook literally 7 losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. So, and then in one trade, we're back up above that. So that was one thing that I'm really liking about this. And we can see the bigger picture with this. So if we go to, here's a 6 month. So um, it's definitely a smaller loss strategy, and that's kind of what I'm looking at in this environment. I really like small losses. I
Yeah.
really don't like to take big losses, so I like to get protected. That's one of the things that you'll see on this strategy when it comes out in the marketplace. Is it actually what we'll see? Let's see. Start new. You'll see it. So that stop was giant, and the stop went completely down. So it took off risk once it got into profit. So that's kind of what I like. And sure, this one didn't work out, but it back tests well, so I don't really care what one individual trade does. Um, but yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking about with what did I just do? Oh, I don't know what I just did. Oh, I canceled out of the replay. So yeah, and that's what I'm looking at for this. And then let's go to Market Ninja, kind of look at what you were showing guys on the chat. Honestly, do you want to do it on your screen, or I have it pulled up right here?
I can. Yeah, I've got it pulled up too.
Okay. Because yeah, and also look at this, like small losses, small losses, small losses. I don't know what this goes back to. This is like 10 days. So you can see like it's not getting killed. And it really didn't take very long for this strategy to pop back up. But yeah, I'll let you
No,
share your screen.
yeah, and it generally doesn't because of that, right? It's good in that respect. And I'm the same, like I like these higher RR strategies because like as long as you can get psychologically used to like and you understand that it's probably going to lose more than it wins. And that's not always the case, but sometimes. But then when you get that win, it just like pops you back up into the green pretty good, right? Like but again, you have to be psychologically set up for that and understand that because you'll get pretty frustrated if you're used to a higher I had to psychologically get used to that. Because I think a lot of people are like that. Like they really don't like losing. So, when you understand the math behind it, you feel more comfortable just to like let it go. And yeah, so this normal the normal setup in this setup is it's a 2-to-1, right? So it's a 33-point stop with a 65-point take profit. And of course, it does reverse a lot, and that's a little bit different in that respect. It's more of a one. I think it's a more of a 1-to-1 on reverse. I'd have to check. It might be slightly positive, actually. Let's
I
see.
want to make a quick note because I had somebody that I met with this week where him
Uh-huh.
and his friend both had tried Market Ninja, and they did not take any of your chart links, and they just started trading what was when you click from the invite only scripts and just put it on a chart. They just
Uh-huh.
started trading that, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't really like this. It wasn't winning very much." So I just want to make sure people know, like that. Whatever, I don't know, what did you have on your defaults for, like, if you just open it and put it on a chart?
Oh, that was like, it's really, I don't think anything is really turned on, to be honest. There might be a
It's
couple
probably a
filters that are,
GC or something. Yeah, it's probably for like old settings or something. So like that is not
yeah.
meant for trading. Um, like I would not run. And somebody did it on my stuff too. They opened up Kairos MA, and they just started trading what was on there. So it's really important that um, just ask the community, ask Discord, like, hey, how do I find the right setup for this? Can I just put it on a chart? Does it work? Rarely are you going to find something that we have that you just put it on a chart and that's what it's for. Um, so
Yeah, you have to look at these. I look at Kairos and Ninja and you know as platforms, right? These, they're so versatile. Even Secret Lab, pretty much everything in the marketplace. Vector. These are again, these are just platforms, right? They're platforms, and the reason why you see some filters used and not used in setups is because they're so versatile. When you give a couple more, like this filter 5 might be used in, a setup on ES or a setup on GC or something. So I think when we create these things, in order to have them so versatile, you have to have other features in there that you're able to turn on for other assets that react well to those certain filters. So yeah, if you just load up any one of these strategies onto a chart, I mean, it's not going to perform well at all. And every time frame will also have its own settings, right? So it's and maybe it's more, maybe that time frame is more partial to one of these filters as well. So
yep.
there's so many different things you can do with what all the vendors have built. It's really important to to get that right, and then either use the links that everybody provides, or or go at it and start adjusting all the settings to whatever you'd like them to be for whatever you're trying to do. But yeah, just I guess to answer that question, why I was even in here, it is just slightly better. So 1.5 ATR to 1.2 for the stop loss. So it is still a positive RR on that reversal setup. So yeah, so I mean that, and like you were saying, that's why these more positive RR strategies, they might not have a high win rate, but they're still profitable because when they win, they win. And that's the most important thing in trading, is that, and that's what you'll generally see. The more R you go for in a strategy, your win rate generally goes lower into the 30s and 40s is what is pretty typical. At least from what I've seen. I mean, yeah, I
Yep.
very rarely see like a strategy that's a 2-to-1 have, you know, maybe in the 50s, but it's pretty rare, honestly, from my experience. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
the
mean, yeah.
yeah, and you got to know if what your R&R is. So like for example, the ES strategy we were talking about earlier, it's a 1-to-1 trading strategy. So you need to have a win rate that is over 50% for it to be a profitable strategy. So that's what I would look at, is I'd be like, okay, this is 1-to-1. I need to make sure that my win rate is staying over 50%. And
Mhm.
how I would like it higher. Like this one for this week is 72%. It's a 1-to-1 strategy. That's a profitable strategy. So you can use that. And but you gotta know what you got to know some of these kind of basic baseline things like R&R, which is risk to reward, which is basically just, if you don't, not a lot of people probably don't know what that is, but It's just your ratio from your stop loss to your take profit. So what's the ratio between your take profit and your stop loss? So if you have a positive R&R, then that means that your take profit is over or bigger than your stop loss. And if you have a negative RR, which can be good, you can have a super high win rate and win with that. But it just really, that's where personality kind of comes into play. Like, what do you like to trade? What do you like to do? And that's just going to be built over time, and it changes over time. Like, I'm really into positive R&R strategies right now, but like for most of the time that I've been automating, I've been just a one-to-one scalp guy. Like, that has been what I like the most.
I'm the same in that respect, David. I was, one-to-one, maybe slightly positive, but I didn't really care if it was by much. But now I'm starting to want to get more into like, kind of a bigger RR and maybe even less trades, and just kind of give these things a little bit more room, because generally that's what you'll see too well, not always, but sometimes they're bigger trades or longer trades. Just depends on the setup, but I'm kind of with you there. I kind of like it's almost just more not relaxing, but just not as crazy in a way. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, when you can take a lot of paper cuts, then losing just stops really mattering as much.
Yeah, like when you're just like, oh, I just lost like 15 or 30 points, but then you go and make 60 or 80 or something, and you're like, whoa, okay, well that's kind of cool, right? And then you can lose again and you can still be positive, right? And so it's like it's really nice in that respect. And then, yeah, so I guess just to round out that conversation, when you have a negative RR, so let's just say you're risking more than you're going to win, you have to have a really high win rate. And you actually have to figure out the math on that, right? Because if you have a 50% and you're running negative, you're going to not be profitable. There's depending on how much of a negative RR you have, there's a win rate percent that you need to achieve. And it's normally actually pretty high. It's upwards of 70+% just to be profitable, and you account for slippage and just all that kind of stuff. So
people don't realize when they read on social media those companies that post 95% win rate, that they need a 90% win rate in order to be profitable. So really their room for error is like 5%. Not
exactly. It's not much, and people just don't really understand that, so they'll unfortunately buy into it and then probably not do so well most of the time. Maybe people have won with that, but I don't know. It doesn't seems like it doesn't work out all that often for people. So just be cautious with that stuff. Not saying it can't, but just know what you're getting into when you when you start running stuff like that.
Yep. At any point, I could create a strategy that has a 95% win rate. It's pretty easy. Just take off your stop loss.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them do that. They just pretty much run no stop and maybe like a small target, and But there are people that do run like manual negative RR strategies that are really good. And they get payouts and they do really well. So again, it's not saying it can't be done. You just, like I said, just make sure you know what you're getting into and you understand it. Because it can be a little misleading sometimes.
For sure. Yeah, but just to kind of wrap up this segment, so we just talked a little bit about Market Ninja, where we see that good R&R really shine. We talked a little bit about ESMA, where we had the one-to-one risk to reward, and it's 70% win rate this week, so that is looking good for a one-to-one risk to reward. And then what else did we talk about? Just VWAP, but I don't want to get too much into VWAP just because it's not released yet. But yeah, be looking forward to some of that coming out. I guess next let's kind of transition a little bit into just talking about prop firms. There's some big news in the prop firm world this week, where we saw a big company buy out another company. I think a lot of us were using the futures desk, and they were bought out by Top Step. So what do you think of that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know. Have they released what they're gonna? Are they just acquiring them, leaving everything as is, or are they kind of gonna vamp them to Top Step house rules?
Yeah,
Because if they do, what's that?
they're swallowing them up. So it's going to
Okay.
be any existing accounts can trade the existing accounts, but once those are gone, you're pushed over to the Top Step page to go buy an account there. The two owners of the company or people that started it are actually employees now, I think, of Top Step. So they work for Top Step now. And I don't know, big picture, I'm thinking like through what does this say in the prop firm world? Because it's been the Wild West for a while. Prop firms popping up left and right. But if bigger prop firms start swallowing up smaller prop firms, we're going to see a lot less of those kind of little guys succeeding. So we're going to see a lot less of those things happen, or they get swallowed up really quick if they do find popularity, and more centralized maybe around a few or several bigger companies like say Tradeify or Top Step, and then Lucid's getting pretty big. I don't know if they quite are at the same level of as some of the bigger ones such as Tradeify and Top Step, but they may be. I know they grew really fast. So, um, but yeah, that's to me what that tells me is um, it's going to bring less choices for traders. We're going to be in a space to where our rule selection, like we can't just go pick new prop firms and be like, oh, I don't like those rules, I'm going to go over here. Because
Mm-hmm.
if anything, they're gonna be competing against each other, and as they grow and as they swallow up other prop firms, you're gonna have their rules kind of be the standard, and then it's going to give us less choices as traders for sure. But on the flip side, you'll have a lot more stability in the market. In the prop firm world, you have a lot more stability to be assured that you're probably going to be the company is going to be have enough money flow to actually pay out traders and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I will say. I mean, I up until Top Step's whole HedgeGate thing, I mean, you shared the same opinion. I'm pretty sure it's like I really liked them. I really, they were one of my top, if not the top. Um, I don't know. It sounds like just to add to what they've got going on. It looks like they put a new hedging, um, some kind of hedging feature in there. I don't know if it's released yet. I don't think I saw it yet, but it'll tell you that you're hedging positions within Top Step, and it'll allow you to close the positions before giving you a penalty for doing so. So, um, I mean, if they would have handled the whole hedging thing appropriately from the beginning and then came out with this tool, I mean, I think everybody would have respected them a lot more. But hopefully, they can get past that and kind of be a good firm again with some morals, and actually not, take everybody's money. But that's TBD, right? um, but
Yeah.
but them swallowing up the futures desk, like you said, it just limits the choices, and it's hard to see, like, if they swallowed up someone that really wasn't as friendly for automation. I guess maybe it wouldn't be such a bummer, but yeah, I mean, we all kind of love that firm, and they were really good for automation with their static accounts, things like that. So, um, yeah, it's tough, especially with the whole hedging thing now. You want good firms to like be able to pick from, so like you don't have to hedge, right, in like firms and stuff, or there's less likely a chance, and you can run more stuff. But um, again, that's why we always say, like, find your success in playing the prop firm game, and on the side with the money that you're getting from payouts, start building up a cash account, right, and then start trying to get that going for yourself. I know it's tough, especially when you're first starting out, especially when you're learning all this stuff and everything. But I think that should eventually be everyone's goal, is to have a small cash account and be able to, trade a cash account.
Yeah.
I think that's a good goal to have.
Yeah, and through all this, I've traded my cash account. Um, I've automated I have an automation specific cash account that I trade futures with. And the whole time I've had it, and it is a nice assurance that, hey, if anything goes south, I always have an account that I can trade, that I can not be pulled out of the game and stay in the game and stay making money. So that is a really good point that you're making on that. And I personally, as far as Top Step goes, like, I'm kind of over it. I'm over the. I was a little frustrated at first, but I think that they specifically. I mean, you can't deny the fact that they are incredibly attractive to new traders.
Oh yeah.
Their platform, um, even their CEO, Michael Patak, like, he speaks to those new traders coming in. So you have a lot of people pissed off, but a lot of the people that are pissed off are good traders or people that have made a lot of money, and are doing really well for themselves, to where, like, hopping to a different prop firm honestly doesn't affect them that much, because they already know how to make money. They already know how to do this, to where they are incredibly attractive to these newer traders that are coming in. So I think they are going to continue to grow. I think they are going to continue being the top, like, innovators in the space, to where we're going to see, such as the hedging thing, to where you're gonna have like a hedge warning, so that you can close out of a position. So I don't know. I see them as being still going to be the top dog, and they never quit being the top dogs for new traders. I mean, I think they. I mean, I've never looked at the statistics, but just from a feel of the room, feeling the room, like, they succeed in new traders, like people coming into the space. They market really well towards that. They have friendly rules, like, for new traders too. Like, their payout rules are just incredibly friendly towards
Their
new
payout rules
traders coming
are
in.
some of the best, honestly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why I liked them always, and I still have a
yeah,
couple fundings with them. So I mean, yeah, it's
yep.
yeah.
So I mean, I have a short memory, and if Top Step was ever let me back to trade with them, I would go back and trade with them. I mean, I'm
So
just to be honest.
when they did the whole hedge thing, did they ban you from the firm, like, altogether then?
Yep. I'm banned
Oh
from the
wow,
firm.
okay.
I reached out to the CEO of the futures desk, because I have accounts with them. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what's gonna happen? And, like, I was just straightforward. Like, I don't care. Potentially, I mean, he could probably see my message and then be like, oh, I'm gonna ban him because now I'm part of Top Step and he's already banned the top. But I'm like, at this point, I'm like, it's inevitable at some point. Like, what am I supposed to wait until I actually have money that can be pulled out, and then have them, like, find out that they're gonna just ban me because I'm
Yeah.
banned at Top Step? So I was just very straightforward. I was in my message. I was just like, look, I was banned at Top Step. I still haven't gotten full clarification on this, but I would say that if I've made mistakes, I would be happy to change things on how I'm doing. I'm open to showing you guys the strategies I've developed, so that way you can see that I'm trading my own strategies that I develop. Because I know Top Step has that in their rules, that you're only supposed to trade. You cannot trade third party algos, so you cannot go to. So that's technically in their rules. Whether or not it's just something that they reserve to be able to ban people at some point, probably. I mean, it is in a way, but for the most part, they don't enforce that. It doesn't seem like, until recently. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back into Top Step, take some money from them, get some payouts.
Yeah.
Their payouts are so easy to get. It's like, I can't argue with it, man. It's just the payout structure is just very friendly. So
It is. It is.
but yeah. So
I
that's
guess
the big news. Yeah.
well, some other prop firm news too. It's I think it was last week though. Tradeify came out with their new I guess ways of doing things, and they kind of followed Lucid, where they don't have that that time limit on new accounts anymore either. So, or I should say on evals.
Oh, hey, I
Uh,
might go pick some up then. That's interesting.
yeah, yeah. So they're just like Lucid now. You can take as much time as you need to pass an eval, no monthly fees on those. So And I think they did a couple other things too. I know that was just like kind of I've heard people talking about that. That was a big deal, which I kind of like that too, especially in this environment where like you don't feel like sizing heavy and it's easier to blow an account. Um, you can kind of take
Yeah.
a slower pace on an eval, right? And less risk and just kind of grind it out. And that could be a strategy for you. It's, yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, and then I logged on. Their dashboard looks a little bit different for my accounts too. So yeah, so it seems like some good changes on their end. I've always liked them. I've traded with them since they kind of came out. So I've never had any payout issues with them. I've never really had any issues with them. So
What's the
actually, and
difference
they're
between
really
their
nice too.
growth?
What's that?
What's the biggest difference between their growth plan and their select funding? Which one
Mm,
do you typically choose?
I think I've got the growth accounts.
Those are the pass in
Um,
1 day accounts, looks like.
yeah. And they could have changed up those rules for those too with the new update. I'd have to reread all that stuff, but
35% consistency rule in funded. So
yeah,
it's no consistency rule in the select plans, but they
okay.
are 40% consistency in the eval. So no, that's all it is. It's just a flip flop. So the
Hmm.
growth plan is no consistency in eval, and then consistency in funded, and then the select plans are consistency in eval and no consistency in the what do you call it? The funded stage. Okay. All right. Yeah, I might have to pick up an account or two of them, try them out.
Yeah, like I said, I've had good luck with them forever. They're one of my firms I like to trade. Plus, if you ever have any like outages or anything, they do it so nice. They don't even like so they'll take away the red trades when the outage occurred, but they'll leave all the green trades and they just do it automatically. They don't even ask you like Top Step had that the other day.
Yeah.
And I got an email from them, and it's like, "Well, forward us all this information like during this time and everything." I'm just like, "Dude, I think it was like one or two trades that occurred," and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, right? It's just something extra for me to do. I don't really,
Yeah.
whatever.
Top Step used to do that, where they used to just wipe out the losing days and give you the winning day or winning trades.
Yeah,
So
like they
that they
wanted
don't do that
information.
anymore, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, but Tradeify. So I was running the same exact, or it happened to Tradeify that same exact day too. I think it was like Tuesday of this week it happened. But anyway, but Tradeify just like I said, um, just took away the red trade. I think it was one trade during that time, um, automatically, and that was it. So that's nice that they do that. It just, but yeah, they're a good firm. So check them out.
Yeah. Well, let's see. The next segment is just to go over any questions, which I don't see any in the chat today. So, oh, what does Ultimate Package give? Did that just pop up? Oh yeah.
48. So
Wow.
yeah,
Right when I opened the chat, it popped up. That was weird timing. Yeah. So I'm guessing you're talking about either. Well, what are you talking about? Are you talking about TradingView because they have an Ultimate package, and then we have at Clearview or at ClearEdge we have the Elite package if that's what you're talking about. So I'm guessing you're talking about TradingView because that's the one with the actual name Ultimate. So I guess I'll just start telling you about that. I have Ultimate, so you can actually see on my screen. Um, of ClearEdge. Okay, yeah. So ClearEdge is called the Elite plan if that's what you're talking about. The one with 16 automation agents. So that one comes with 3 starter strategies. So you can. It has I think ORB, GovGap, and I think initial
initial
balance.
balance. Yeah.
Is that do you have those?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do. That's what I actually started with. Those three
Oh,
unlimited.
unlimited. Let me go to the pricing.
I guess what does it give? So I guess the biggest thing of that is you can run unlimited agents.
Mm-hmm.
So each strategy that you run will take one agent. So in the whatever plan you have will have a limited number of agents of the limited number of strategies you can run. And then with that unlimited plan, you could just run as many as you'd like.
Yeah. I'm trying to look because last time I was looking at stuff. This is more Chris, our developer, and Nara that would be looking at that stuff all the time. I need to familiarize myself more with it because last time I was looking, it was you had the three plans that you could choose from: the starter, advanced, and elite. And
yeah, I think there's like 4 or 5 levels now, if I remember correctly. But it sounds like that the ClearEdge team is getting ready to release some new updates too. I don't know if it gives some indicators. Yeah, so I think the plan, there's like a certain tier.
yeah,
there's like a certain tier that you'll get those 3 ClearEdge strategies with.
The $149 a month one, the one with 16 automation agents, 3 starter strategies. So that anything above that is going to have that stuff with it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the information we have here. Yep. And it says VIP. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, these are just the different plans. Honestly, if you're looking, I don't know how many accounts you're trying to do, because I know you're pretty new, I think, to ClearEdge. You've been in this, I think, this last week, maybe 2 weeks. So I would have to set up. Have you had a one-on-one meeting with one of us yet? Deja Vu. Because in that we can just kind of go over what you're looking at, what your budget is, what your plan is for it, and we can kind of build out a plan to go from there. Most people I have start on the starter package, and I get them started with 1 or 2 evals, and then I have them build up from there, and then they can just upgrade from there until they actually need all the things that come with it, all the agents. Yeah, it's not just for setup. Those calls aren't just for setup.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have to find out what the VIP means. I can't even see that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was looking around for it. I was wondering.
Yeah, it just shows me like what my current subscription is, but it doesn't really have. Maybe they changed it up a little bit. I can't see what VIP, if it's included or.
It's just my internet cooking me. Yeah, man, that's a bummer. I switched to a VPS almost immediately after starting ClearEdge. I know Kevin has backup internet, so he has his normal internet, and then he has a backup internet if something goes out. So either way, you're spending money somewhere.
I really just get that from my work, right?
Yeah.
My day job. So because I have to have internet everywhere, so they provide that. So it's yeah, to your point, if that didn't happen, I would be on VPS 100%.
Yeah. Speaking of internet problems, then I just popped out in and out.
Yeah, so somebody in the ethos must have heard us talking.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, no, man, I feel for you, and I know I've been reading all your stuff in the chat. It's not one of the reasons why I have guys that I have set up, starting with just really small size is because I already know that issues are going to come up. I can only go over so many things. Unless you go back through all our streams, listen to every piece of advice that comes through them, then you're not going to know every little thing that happens. Potentially can go wrong, potentially can happen. I know both Kevin and I are working on disclaimers, so that way you have an idea of what's typical, what you kind of see, what you might see happen with stuff.
I guess. So maybe that I think broadcast is going to be a new feature then, or something. Maybe they're getting it ready for the updated features if it's listed. I don't know. I haven't really seen that before.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on a whole lot of it too much because I don't know what Nara and Smooth have said. Maybe they brought that stuff up in the chat, but a lot of that stuff is, I think, just coming out. So don't really want to speak on some of the things, new features that are going to be out on ClearEdge, unless Nara and Smooth post about it in there, which I don't know if I saw anything in there or not. But yeah,
I don't know. I think Smooth mentioned something that some new features are coming out very, very soon. So I'm sure they'll fill us in with, what all that stuff means soon.
Yeah, I don't have that ability because I have a staff member account with it, so I can't upgrade anything. It's just I'm on the subscriptions that I have.
Yeah, Deja, you might just want to maybe tag Nar or Smooth and ask them in the main chat. I'm sure they'd probably be able to answer it best. That might be something new or something. Yeah, that they'd probably be able to answer better than David or I.
Yeah, sorry I don't have answers. I'll make sure to get in on that and make sure that I know this stuff. The ClearEdge guys, man, they're just constantly trying to improve everything for everybody. So it's just, you see so much come up. I mean, just what, 2 months ago, Kevin, just the advances that we've seen, like adding sentiment to the software, like that was a huge change and just made it so much easier. The amount of times we would have guys start a strategy midway through a trade and then get put in the opposite direction of the trade. I mean, there's so many great features that have been added. It's advancing very quick.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been here since like last August or something, and even in that time, we used to do things a little differently with alerts and all that kind of stuff, and even like the dashboard, how the app on your desktop looks now, and the remote control. I mean, they're constantly just adding, which is amazing, right? So it's probably something like that. They're gearing up for some kind of release with something.
Yeah, they definitely are. There's talks about stuff coming out.
Yeah, so
I just don't want to spill the beans before I'm supposed to. Yeah. What's the best gold strategy? That's a good question.
I haven't run across a good gold strategy in a minute.
If you listen to some of our past streams, so I mean, the thing you should know about Kevin is his strategy used to be only gold. So it was Market Ninja was only gold, and it just crushed it. It was just like everybody was talking about how great it was on gold, and it just, the way the market shifted in that market, and it just changed how that strategy was working. So I'm not sure. Do you have any profitable stuff in gold right now, or is it all kind of just flat or just kind of bouncing around right now?
No, I don't. And I've tried to optimize the Ninja on a higher time frame for gold. I thought that was gonna, be better. And it just really didn't work out. So I was gonna try to re-optimize it maybe because it used to run on the 1 minute. So I was gonna take some stuff probably this weekend, honestly, because I've been optimizing a lot on different things really that aren't out yet. So I've been using my optimization time like that, but yeah, I mean, it was on my list to do, so maybe I'll do that this weekend and see if I can't get something on the 1 minute back, because it was nice, like, I mean, to be able to run MGC all the time and
Deja Vu
hedging problem.
Yeah, deja vu. I would definitely maybe even post in the chat. Ask who's using Secret Lab because I know Secret Lab has been historically pretty good on gold. I don't know
Mm.
who has the settings for it, but I know, or I think I remember people talking about having gold settings with that are pretty good. And then also Vector Platinum. I think Smooth was talking about running the gold strategy on there, so you may want to get or you already have that. So maybe you've already looked at that more than I have. Let me see. Um, on auto, what is the preset for MGC? MGC 5 minute. MGC. See what it did this week. I was up this week. There you go. There's your killer strategy right there. Look at that. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, no, that's pretty modest gains for the week. It's really not. It's really not doing terrible considering.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
uh it's been like hitting my head against a rock trying to find stuff for GC right now.
I
Um,
wonder. I wonder if my cowboy platform, how that's doing. I haven't. I have a gold setting for it, but I haven't looked at it in a minute. I've been focused on NQ and ES with it. Um,
yeah. No, this is a good equity curve. It looks like it's coming up, back up again too. So these vector settings don't look bad.
yeah, not
Yeah. No, I
yeah.
get it. I get it, Deja. This is not the greatest in the world. Not something you. I'm guessing that's what you're laughing about, but it's definitely not something I'm personally going to go ahead and run right now. But in general, I'm not really running GC stuff. So I'm very, very ES heavy and I'm diversified within ES. So I have different strategies running for ES. I have stuff that's running reversion, I have stuff that's running trend. And then I have my NQ stuff, and then I have CL stuff that's doing good. So that's kind of where I'm at with stuff in RTY. I have RTY stuff as well. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, few months.
I'll spend some time to see if I can get something for Ninja this week, or for next week. Um, yeah, maybe I'll be able to find something.
Yeah, I mean, I have some really good ES settings with Kairos MA. So if you're a subscriber, I can get you. I have a simplified version of MA that I run, and we showed it earlier in the stream. This is it. So this was this week's performance, if you can see it. So it had 25 trades, 72% win rate, 2.697 profit factor, um, $6,000 P&L with about $1,000 drawdown. That's a full ES mini. But we were talking about it earlier on the stream. This was a strategy that Kevin and I both were running, and when some Trump news came out, we were catching this, we were riding this wave up, and then all of a sudden it just took a pretty steep turn down. But now it's really picked back up, and I'm liking it a lot more. I just put some stuff back on it because I had a short heavy ES strategy that was the same concept, that was pretty much exclusively shorts, and this one goes both ways. So I put this on there. This used to be like a 2.4 profit factor or something like that, or 2.1 profit factor. So it did take a downturn, but this one's for 6 months. So this is a pretty long back test that I definitely, and because I've ran it and because I know when it's done good, I like it. So even if it's down, I'm fine with running this. Unlike something else where I'm not familiar with it, like Vector, where like I haven't ran this a lot, so I'm not really willing to put that on. There's three of them in the marketplace. What should I try? Uh, are you talking about Kairos stuff? There's only two. So there's two in the marketplace, and then one is a bundle. So I would try uh, just a subscription for the 7-day free trial of trying MA. And once you get that, just give me shoot me a direct message on Discord. But we are actually wrapping up on time here, so
Yeah.
I want to respect Kevin's time, make sure that he can get to whatever he needs to get to. I have some family in town, so is there any last words that you have before we wrap up for tonight?
No, I mean, we'll just have to watch the market. It's at a unique place. So, yeah, looking forward to Sunday prep. And they've got peace talks going on this weekend. So keep your ear to the ground and see how those go. And we'll see what happens on the open Sunday night. But yeah, just I would recommend everybody take a look at some strategy reports and get a plan together for running next week. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm sure you will too.
Yeah, and make sure to reach out to me over Discord, Deja, to send me a direct message, and we'll get in contact about some of the ES stuff that I'm running. I'm also running VWAP, which I'm talking with the ClearEdge guys. I would like to get it released as some fantastic settings for ES. Just really quick before we go, Deja, this is what we're looking at for just the last 7 days on this VWAP strategy. So it's pretty dang good. So yeah, lots of stuff coming out, and I'm sure Elevated Kevin is going to come out with some great stuff, adjust to the markets and see what Market Ninja can put out. But alrighty, well, I think that's about it for tonight. I will talk to you guys all later. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the chat, Deja Vu. And we will talk.